Hi guys, this is Pre-Algebra lesson 6-5. Solve inequalities using multiplication or division. Last lesson, we learned how to solve inequalities using addition and subtraction. Today, we're going to solve it by multiplication or division. So let's look at solve and discuss it. Alex and Hope were trying to solve negative 6x greater than 24. Whose inequality shows the solution? Show your work. That's Alex and that's Hope. Alex, so they're both trying to solve this, right? Alex said x is going to be greater than -4. Hope said x is going to be less than -4. So obviously you need to divide by -6 on both sides. And then you have -4 on the other side. But which inequality sign is correct? Okay, and how do you know? Okay, so let's compare some values. Okay, let's make some tables. So this is our original inequality. Alex is x greater than -4. Hope is going to be x less than -4. And if x is 1, then you plug in 1 here, and -7 is greater than 24. That's not correct. So -7 is greater than 24. So 1 is not a solution for this one, okay? But if you plug in 1 here, 1 is greater than -4, and that's correct, right? But 1 is less than -4 is not correct, but that's your original inequality. So 1 shouldn't be a solution for your original inequality. But this one has a different answer. Okay, so for example, what if you have -10? Okay, if x is -10 and you plug in -10 over here, is -6 times -10 greater than 24? That's going to be 60, positive 60. Is that greater than 24? Yes. Okay, if x is -10 greater than -4? No, -10 is less than -4. So here, -10 less than -4? Yes. So the answer is the same here. So you know x is less than -4 is the answer for this solution. They are supposed to be the same inequality. Okay, so but why is what we're going to answer later. Okay, but right now we know that Hope's work is correct. Okay, so we're going to say let's say if the solution is x is greater than -4, then -6x greater than 24, the original inequality, should be true for any value of x greater than -4. But when x is 1, when x is 1, -6 times 1 greater than 24 is -6 or -7. Wait. Yeah, -6. I don't know why I wrote -7 here. Weird. Sorry. Okay, -6 is a -6 greater than 24, which is not true. x, the solution is not correct. Okay. So in the same way, if the solution is x is less than -4, then -6x greater than 24 should be true for any value of x less than -4. Trying some values less than -4. The inequality seems to be true. So hopes solution is correct. Okay. Let me put some spaces in there so that you can easily see, or I can just move this. There. Okay. All right, let's look at focus on math practices. What do you notice about the inequality symbols used in the original inequality and in the correct solution? So what do you notice about the symbols? From the original one, your correct solution, the inequality symbol, flipped from greater than to less than, right? And your x is still on the same side. So let's just write down and record what we noticed, and we'll see the rules later on, okay? The inequality symbol in hopes correct solution is flipped from the symbol in the original inequality. Why? Why do you think it is? Okay, let's look at the next page. So think about how is solving inequalities with multiplication or division similar to and also different from solving equations with multiplication and division, okay, in the equations. So example 1, solve inequalities that involve multiplication or division of positive values. Gina's pet pot-bellied pig is on a diet. Aww. He can have no more than 18 ounces of pig food per day. How many scoops of pig food can Gina feed the pig without going over 18 ounces? So she has a pet pig and the pig is on a diet, so she cannot eat more than 18 ounces of pig food per day. So first, okay, you're gonna write an inequality to represent the situation. So how many ounces per scoop? 4 ounces per scoop. And the number of scoops, we don't know. We're trying to figure it out. Should be, if you multiply them together, that's how much ounces total the pig is gonna have in the day, right? So if you write an inequality for S less than or equal to 18 ounces, that's the maximum daily ounce. So it's gonna be less than or equal to. And then if you solve it, you're gonna divide 4 on both sides. S is gonna be less than or equal to 4.5. Okay, so here it seems like we just keep the inequality sign as it is. And graph that solution. 4.5, closed circle, and then shade on the left. Arrow goes to the left. So Gina can feed her pig up to 4.5 scoops of food. It's a solution. Okay, using the same rule, see if you can do a try question. Try solving the inequality for D over 7 is greater than 15. Okay, everything's positive numbers. You keep the inequality sign as it is. So D over 7 greater than 15. In order to isolate your variable, you want to do an inverse operation for dividing by 7, which is multiplying by 7, right? 7 divided by 7 becomes 1, and then it becomes z, okay? And your inequality sign is still greater than. And 15 times 7, because you need to do the same thing on both sides, 15 times 7 is 105. No, 105. Okay, 105 is right here. Do you shade the circle? Is it a closed circle or an open circle? Since it's just greater than, it's not including the 105. So it's open circle and your arrow goes to the right. Okay, convince me. Frances solved the inequality 5g greater than or equal to 35. She says that 7 is a solution to the inequality. Is Frances correct? Okay, so let's solve for it. 5g greater than or equal to 35. Divide both sides by 5. And then you'll get g is greater than or equal to 7. Okay, is 7 a solution? Is 7 included? Yes, so 7 is part of the solution, but it's not only 7, 7 is part, okay? So yes, she is correct. The symbol, let's talk about the symbol in the inequality, represents greater than or equal to. So 7 is a solution because 5 times 7 is 35. There. Okay, let's look at example 2 on the next page. Solve inequalities using division by a negative value. All right. What if you have a negative value? Do we have some rules that we need to remember? Well, let's look at this one. Solve the inequality negative 3.4m less than or equal to 17, and then you're going to graph it. When you divide by a negative number, you need to reverse the inequality symbol because by dividing negative, your positive number 17 becomes a negative number. So by dividing or multiplying a negative number, you're basically switching the direction of your inequality number line. Okay, so for the equal sign, like the equations, it doesn't really matter because both sides are going to be equal. So it doesn't matter if you change the positive side and the negative side anyway, because your answer is still going to be in the middle. Like it doesn't change, right? But for the inequality, it does matter because your answers are going to change. So m greater than or equal to negative 4 is going to be your final answer. Okay, see if you can try that property that you just learned. Can you use the rule of when you're multiplying and dividing negative number, you're going to flip the sign? Okay, you're not adding an equal sign or you're not subtracting an equal sign. You're just using the same symbol, just flipping it backwards. Okay, so if it's less than, you flip it to greater than. If it's less than equal to, you flip it to greater than equal to. And same for the other way. Okay, so see if you can solve these problems A and B by yourself. Come back when you're ready for answers. Okay, so solve this inequality first. You need to isolate the variable x. X is right here. So you want to divide both sides by negative 19.2. Okay, and then when you're dividing by negative, it means you need to switch the sign. So 149.76 divided by negative 19.2 should be less than now than positive x. Okay, and that's going to be negative 7.8 less than x. So x is actually greater than negative 7.8, and 7 is about here. 7.8 is very close to 8, and it's an open circle because x is just greater than, and it's greater than, so you go to the right. Okay? What about part B? Y is here, you're isolating the y, so you're going to divide both sides by negative 3.25. So when you're dividing both sides by negative, divide by negative 3.25, you're flipping the sign. Y is greater than negative 61.75 divided by negative 3.25. And negative divided by negative cancels out the negative and it becomes a positive. And so y is greater than 19. So that's also an open circle. 19 is halfway between 18 and 20. It's an open circle. Y is greater than, so you need to go right. To the right. Okay? Those are your answers for try number 2, A and B. Let's look at example 3. Solve inequalities using multiplication by a negative value. So, if you have a variable divided by a negative number, in order to undo that, right? So, for example, this is another example, okay? R divided by negative 2. Okay, in order for you to have positive 1R, what do? Opposite operation, okay? That's really negative 1 over 2R, okay? Which is R divided by negative 2. And in order for this to be R, you're gonna multiply by negative 2. Because if you multiply by positive 2, what happens? You still get a negative R. You don't want negative R. So by multiplying negative 2, you get negative 2 over negative 2R, which is just 1R. Okay, so that's why we're gonna multiply with the same number of the denominator to get just positive 1R. Okay. So let's multiply negative 2.25 on both sides. And then when you do that, you need to switch your symbol. Don't forget to switch your symbol. When you're multiplying or dividing a negative sign, your entire number line flips. Negative becomes positive, positive becomes negative. So you need to switch. Okay. And then that's your final answer. Graph it. So let's try this last try question. See if you can solve this inequality by yourself. Come back when you're ready for answers. All right. So k is divided by negative 0.5. So what do? You multiply by negative 0.5. And then you flip the sign. Okay, and that's canceled out. You have k is greater than negative 6. So you can label your number line. That could be 0, negative 1, negative 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, negative 6 right here is an open circle or closed circle. Because it's greater than, it's just an open circle. And then k is going to be greater than negative 6, which is here. Okay, part B. Negative 5 over 4h is greater than or equal to 25. You're going to multiply the reciprocal, right? So negative 5 over 4h, in order to get positive h, you're going to multiply negative 4 over 5. You're going to multiply the reciprocal. And then switch the sign. You're going to keep the equal sign. Then 25 times the same thing, negative 4 over 5. Okay? And then 4s cancel out, 5s cancel out, negatives cancel out, you get a positive h. And then here, 5 is canceled out, but 25 to 5. Okay? 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. You divide both things by 5 to simplify. And then you multiply 5 times -4 to get -20. So h is less than or equal to -20. You can just label -20 here, and that's -40, -60, sure. And then, oh wait, if that's -20 and 40, that's gonna be 0. Okay, so you're gonna shade the circle on the -20, and your h is less than, so your arrow goes to the left. Okay. All right, guys. Let's summarize our lesson. So solving inequalities with multiplication and division is the same. It's still the same for the most part as solving equations with multiplication and division when the values are positive. But if your values are not positive, when you're multiplying or dividing by the negative numbers, you are going to flip the sign, the inequality sign. Do not forget to flip the inequality sign. Okay, that was lesson 6-5, solving inequalities using multiplication or division. We have 2 more lessons to go. Our next video is about solving 2-step inequalities in lesson 6. Okay, if you have any more questions, please ask Ms. King in class. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.